He always used to act red light, defend it.
I think it's like
there we have it. Everything's cushy. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for joining me each and every time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on who you are, wherever you are placed in this world. First things first, I hope with it being Thursday, you're moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. You can't do it without your health. So as usual, wishing you lot, anybody listening and your loved ones and so on and so forth, continued health. As you know, health is wealth. You don't have health, you're dead. It's as simple as that, really. So I hope everyone's well and safe. One love to the Twitch gang. Make sure you're following and subscribing if you can, especially if you've got Amazon Prime. Make sure you're supporting the thing on YouTube as well, people, because you know I work bloody hard. From now until what, maybe 10:45, 11ish, we'll be here. 11:30, we're over there on YouTube. I'm going to be back again at, I believe, don't quote me, either 3-4 p.m. again. I don't even know my own schedule. I think it's free. Let me actually check, people. Apologies. Let me actually check my own. And this is why you lot should check the Twitch schedule as well. So we're live at 3 p.m. people. So yeah, we're live now. We go over to YouTube in the middle. We come back again at 3 p.m. playing Football Manager. I can't lie, man. Listen, it's a new Football Manager 2020. I want to bang it out. So why not bang it out with you lot? Tomorrow, if nothing flops, I should be having Mo on Twitch as well. 5 p.m. UK time. 10 a.m. I'll be live again. So yeah, a bunch of content, people. And just before I started, again, I want to say a massive thank you to you lot for supporting all the content I do, in particular YouTube. If you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure you're following me on Instagram, Deluded Gooner04. Add me on Snap as well, DGooner04, and follow on all them things there. But yeah, away from that, one love to all of you lot commenting. I can't lie, as I said, I'm very thankful for the support you lot give me. Again, we're here at 10 a.m. UK time. I know some of you lot are overseas, so it's probably many hours in front, many hours behind. But if you lot didn't support the thing, you know, I don't want to sit here and talk to myself like one weirdo. So again, that's all I can say is thank you, people, really and truly. It's as simple as that, really. So before we crack on, what are you lot saying in the comments, man? You know, the title of this vid's probably raised a few eyebrows and things, and everything's a bit brazy, you know. Again, if I look at this, you know, apparently Italian football watchdog has sent a report to the FA on suspicious transfer activity. Ronald Koeman's lost his job. Xavi's being linked with that. 5 subs could become a thing where the Premier League's concerned. You know, Hernandez has had his prison sentence appealed. Not going to speak on it, but apparently the latest on Icardi, I see some of you lot comment yesterday, is him and his missus are back together. He's out of the doghouse. And yeah, obviously, Herrera has been robbed by a prostitute. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it's all mad, really. So we got a little ones and twos to crack on with and get through, people. And yeah, man, it is what it is. So yeah, what are you lot saying? Big up DJ and the entire community. I know Xavi has been doing well, but picking up Barca in their current condition could be hard. Instant results needed. You're right, man. And to be fair with Xavi, again, as an ignorant football fan, anything can happen, and it don't really matter where you start, just as long as you've made a start. Football is football. But for me, I agree with you. You know, it looks like it's a difficult job taking over Barcelona, rebuilding Barcelona, making Barcelona competitive game in, game out, you know, let alone what Barca should be doing, they still are an elite club, but being mentioned among the elites, winning Champions League, winning La Liga, you know, having the best players, all of these things. So it's a bit of a mammoth of a task. I know Xavi, because of who he was as a player at a time now, arguably there needs to be more sort of diversity within I mean, unity is the right word, you know. There needs to be more unity within Barcelona, and I think Xavi could bring that. But once you get past the euphoria of an ex-manager, can he do the pep thing? And it's something that people have been speaking about for the longest. You know, when you get past any of that, again, I'm just an ignorant fan here. What has he got? You know, has he got the experience? Because for me, he's just been in Dubai or something like that. You know, has he got the experience? Again, they will listen to you because it's Xavi, but have you got the tactics? Have you got the experience? What's your game management like? What's your man management like? You know, you've been a big ego in the dressing room. Can you deal with that on the other side? Not that it's necessarily the most star-studded of Barcelona team. So again, there's a lot for Xavi to learn, but arguably, It's the work. I don't want to say it's the work. I've seen Barca have a couple of bad periods, but it's probably the worst Barcelona side I've seen in my 26 years. So arguably, a bit like at Arsenal, and again, Arsenal and Barca, the dynamics are different. Surely there's probably been never been a better time, because it just feels like, to me anyways, that the expectations of the football club are firmly on the floor, and it's not like he could do much worse. Saying that Ronald Koeman, who we're going to get onto soon, was rubbed, but yeah, I don't know. In my head, when I think of Xavi, Barcelona, Spanish international, one stuff at club and country level, I think forward thinking football, attacking football, tick-a-tacker and all them things. But I don't know. What if he's mad defensive? What if he has no plan on doing that? I don't know. But in terms of identity, Barcelona have moved away from their identity. And I think, to be fair, to him, I think he's a homegrown lad. There's a bunch of homegrown. The one good thing with Barcelona is you're seeing 1-2 young players start to emerge. You've got Balde, the left back, who I like a lot. Gavi's come to the fore. Nico may get opportunities. I think Ricky Peake's chance is gone, but he's in and about there. Pedri and Ansu Fati, the star-studded names. Minguez has come through. Arroyo's come through. There's people plugging the gaps there. So, who better to do it than an academy, an ex-academy man as well. And you've seen the names, you've seen Roberto Martinez, Pirlo, obviously Xavi, who allegedly is the front runner, and apparently perspective potential people know that. So again, if you're a manager, Conte's been thrown in as well. If you're a potential manager at Barcelona, I mean, not everyone will take the Barca job if it's given, but if Xavi's the first choice, you might just say, allow it. I'm not no one second choice thing. So again, time will tell. We'll circle back round on Ronald Koeman in a sec, because I want to take in some of your comments. But facts, broski, facts. And to be fair, I want to thank you, because you've got the creative juices flowing now. That's Xavi to Barca. Let's call it that. Ooh. Sorry, folks, having a bit of a mare with these timestamps. Let's say, and obviously we had the CARABAO Cup where Man City are out, but let's say the 17. Surely Qatar to Barcelona is a jump too high, and that's the only concern. Again, if you can management, as I think a big part as to why Arteta struggles, because he hasn't had no youth academy experience, nothing like that. You know how to manage egos. Obviously, if you're managing an under 18s team, you still need to win games. You still need to try and win the title. You still need to manage egos. You can get a lot of that whether you've managed in Dubai or in Edmonton, in London. You can get all of that, but the levels are different. So the only thing I'd say is, once you get past the euphoria of it being Xavi and his history, what's being said there, because Pirlo returned to Juventus, it didn't necessarily bang, really and truly. Oli at United is completely different, but it didn't necessarily bang. My point being, once you get past the euphoria, what is someone bringing to the table? So with that being said, let me crack on. One love, CFC's finest. Appreciate you. Morning, Ak. Right back at you. Morning, P Mav. Appreciate you lot locked in. Shout out to CeeLo. This Xavi prop makes no sense. Best choice for Barcelona is Ten Hag. Good choice for Barcelona. You're speaking facts, bro. Ten Hag's a good one. Obviously he's done the young player thing. He's done the young player thing with Barcelona, with Ajax. He knows how to rebuild a squad. He knows how to overperform. He knows how to set a philosophy. Again, the way Ajax play, sorry, Ten Hag to Barca. I think that's worthy of part of the timestamp. But you're right, in terms of, I think he's, he ain't got, the only thing that goes against him is his name don't sound as romantic and as sexy, pause, as Xavi to Barcelona. Ten Hag, don't get it twisted, as you lot know, he's worth his own weight in gold. And to be fair with you, whether it's Barca, United, a next club, I think he's ready to take the step up, and I'm sure he's thinking of that. And you look at the Ajax project, at one point, Overmars could keep it moving. A lot of things could change where they're concerned. So it is what it is. I think we frozen temporarily here. What's going on? Why are we going offline? What's all of this, man? Someone tell me if we're back, when we're back, if we're back. Again, this seems to be a StreamYard problem. It seems to be a StreamYard problem, folks. The fuck? Someone let me know. We back, folks. Again, this is a StreamYard problem. This don't seem to be an internet problem. Google seems to be working. I don't want to carry on with my 10 hard comments if we're not getting anywhere, man. So, yeah, let me know if we're back and everything's cushy. Or I might have died. The hell? Why is it off? Why is my Twitch offline? Has Twitch gone down? What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck has happened here, man. This is tiring. What the fuck? This is jarring, man. Why have I gone? Why has Twitch died? Why have I died? Went offline. What the fuck? Are we back, folks? I don't know what going for Twitch. I think it says we're back here, but I don't know now. Pussy Clark, man. Twitch, what's wrong with you lot, man? The most jarring thing, we're back. So the most jarring thing is when this bullshit happens, when it's nothing to do with my internet. Twitch pattern the fuck up, man, because again, we haven't got time for that. It was running smoothly, it was running safe until some bullshit started happening. So again, if you've experienced any of that, if it cut out and rubbed out, I apologize for that. There's nothing I can do in relation to that. It's jarring because you know there was quite a few of you locked in. Unfortunately, it's fucked it. Hopefully we get back to where we was, yeah. But are you using StreamYard? Yeah, I am, man. It might be time to rub this out. But as I was saying with Ten Hag, apologies, people, because I don't want to lose track. Now, Ten Hag, he's, you know, the thing with Ajax, the project's got to change. He's rebuilt the team. There's a couple decent players, different players, and decent players from the ones that weren't there. You know, they've recovered from when they had, you know, Van der Beek and De Ligt and De Jong. You know, they've got Gravenberch and a couple of other players. When these players leave, other things will leave. With respect to Ajax, at some point as a manager, it's long doing that. Volume off. I don't know how the volume shouldn't be off. You should be able to hear me, and it says my mic is working, so that may be a you problem. That might be a you problem. It might be a you problem. But anyways, with relation to Ten Hag, in terms of hands-on experience, he's got that, you know. Again, in terms of managing the bigger egos and all of these sort of things where Barcelona is concerned, he hasn't gone through that potentially. And there's a lot of things in that regards for him to experience. But in terms of hands-on experience, in terms of the Barcelona DNA and things, Ten Hag has to be it. You know, as I said before, it started acting up. It's not as sexy. You know, it's not sexy as Xavi managing. You know, but Xavi to Barcelona, Ten Hag isn't as sexy, but Ten Hag's gonna get a big job. I don't know if you know the wickedest thing is when you look at someone like Ten Hag. Do you want to leave Ajax mid-season? Do you want to, even if you don't, or even if you're not managing at a football club, do you want to join a club mid-season? Because you've heard Conte is actually not on that. You know, apparently Conte is not even on that. He doesn't want to do that. That's why he will wait to the end of the season in relation to potentially becoming Manchester United manager and all of those sort of things. It is what it is where that's concerned, man. Let's scroll up because there was a couple of other comments, man. Cam, shout out to you. You said that Herrera story feels very suspicious to me. What was he doing at a new tourist area like that in the first place? Sightseeing? I don't know, and we're gonna get into that really and truly. Shout out to CFC's fans. Shout out to everybody that's locked in. Again, you know, don't know what Twitch was on, just randomly cutting out, but we go again, man. I don't know what StreamYard was on either, but between StreamYard, Twitch, you, man, sort it out, man. We ain't got time for that. One love to everyone that's been able to get through that, man. The man said, my bad, don't know why my thing was on mute. It's all right, my guy, but in future, everyone who's listening, try and make sure it's not a you problem before you start scaring people and saying the volume's off and whatnot. But cracking on with stuff, people. moving on with what we need to move on with. Again, that's all I have to say in relation to the first bit of Xavi versus Xavi and Ten Hag, and who's going to become the gaffer and all of these sort of things, people. Moving away from that, as you lot know, where the CARABAO Cup is concerned, people, it's taken over 1,000 days. But you know, Manchester City have lost in the cup competition, and you know the Manchester City are out of the Manchester City Cup. There will be another Carabao Cup winner, which I hope is Arsenal. Obviously, Manchester City lost on penalties. Big character from Phil Foden to step up and take it, but it was a disastrous penalty from him. Likewise, where West Ham are concerned, in the flip side, convincing penalties from everyone concerned. You know, Ben Rama stepped up and delivered the goods. With that as well, we might as well look at some of the other things. Obviously, I'm sure you all saw Southampton versus Chelsea penalty shootout. I think all the English players need to work on penalties. Obviously, Saka, Jadon Sancho, Rashford, no relevance to the penalty shootouts, but they all need to improve in that regards. Away from that, you know, Mason Mount, you know, got his blushes were spared against Norwich, where he got to retake it. It was a terrible penalty against Southampton. Blushes were spared. You know, it doesn't seem like our young England lads can take penalties, but where, you know, the EFL Cup action is concerned, as you know, as I said, Chelsea defeated Southampton 4-3 on 4-3 on penalties. Better yet, Arsenal won 2-0 against Leeds. Sunderland, who their manager's been talking a lot about Arsenal and Spurs, you know, considering he's the only reason you're a manager, Lee Johnson, is because of your father, really and truly, to send for my club. Sunderland beat QPR on penalties. Brentford won 2-1 against Stoke. West Ham, as I just said, won on penalties. Leicester City eventually, I believe, won 4-2 on penalties. I didn't see the game, but they won 4-2 on penalties after a dramatic 2-2 draw in normal time against Brighton. Origi and Minamino. Origi, what a good, decent little flick that was from him. Sees Preston lose 2-0 against Liverpool. Tottenham got over the line courtesy of Lucas Moura against Burnley, so it sets things up, man. Big up Danny, big up DG, first time seeing you on Twitch. One love to the Twitch gang and everybody that's tuned in. I apologize for any technical difficulties that, you know, we're not off my control. Again, everything was good on my end. Don't know what sort of badness was going on this early in the morning, but we're back, man. I hope we're back. I hope everything's cushy and all of those sort of things, people. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, refresh the page if you need to, and them things there, and we're back. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, man, that was where the Carabao Cup action was concerned. And the next round, I think the draw is being made. I don't think Sunday. I think it's at another date. But whoever we get is whoever we get. We're in the quarterfinals from an Arsenal perspective. It's time to put up or show up. If we quickly go back to Ronald Koeman, just because it's, you know, you lot can't see it, but I've got my timestamps in order, people. So we might as well digest what's going on with Ronald Koeman. And obviously, you know, his Barcelona career has been hanging on by a knife edge, to describe it positively, in a nice way. It's been on a knife edge, and he's needed to be sacked for a long time. You know, Barcelona, at one point, a lot of us probably said the only reason he's not getting the clip is because it's probably going to cost a lot financially to get rid of him. And I think his contract, you know, apparently the reported payoff to obviously cancel Koeman's contract was 13 million euros. Everybody knows that Barcelona obviously is in 1.3 billion euros in debt, and they just took on a new 1.5 billion loan to rebuild the crumbling Nou Camp, as the Athletic says. But yeah, as you lot can see here, Barcelona has relieved Ronald Koeman of his duties as first-team coach. The president of the club, João Laporte, informed him of the decision after the defeat against Rayo Vallecano. Ronald Koeman will say goodbye to the squad on Thursday, which is today. So yeah, today, pack up your drawer, clean out your room. You know, you're gone in it. Your career's done. And I think it's a very short paragraph. And, you know, it was going to happen. There was no way after that defeat, where a penalty was missed by Memphis Depay, there was no way you was going to keep your role in it. It's been coming. You know, the football is very unidentifiable at Barcelona. The way he's managing certain young players, the way he's managing experienced players, the formation, the tactics. There's a lot of problems at Barcelona deeper than Ronald Koeman, but he needs to keep it moving, people. And I think when you look at some of the statistics, Barcelona have failed to score a single goal in 4 consecutive away games for the first time in 25 years. Barcelona have also failed to register a single win in their first 5 games for the first time in 35 years. So it's never happened in my lifetime of 26 years. I do think as well, you know, October seems to be a very decisive year, because I think October last year, the president of Barcelona resigned. And obviously, October this year, Koeman's been parted ways. I hope he gets the United job, but I think he's going to have Christmas off. So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it could be worse. I didn't like the way he was treated in terms of fans chasing the car and that, but you got 13 million euros. Christmas on you this year, really. And then when you look at some of his statistics of his 15-year spell in charge of Barcelona, it don't lie. 16 defeats, 12 draws, 39 wins. So it's not bad. It's still positive. In relation to Xavi, Barcelona board have started contact with Xavi weeks ago. So again, all Koeman's been doing, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at United, is just delaying the inevitable. It will happen. You will lose your job. Apparently, talks continue today to check the situation with El Said and resolve issues. The announcement's not imminent yet. Process has just started. Allegedly, Xavi wants the job. And apparently, Sergi Bojan will be an option if Barcelona need an interim coach, which they'll obviously need if they're gonna, whatever's gonna happen where that's concerned. So let's cancel that. Let's see what's gone on here. As you lot know, people, 14, 15 months, but Ronald Koeman's been in charge, just 4 wins from 10 games. You know, it's a bit like Maximiliano Allegri. His return at Juventus hasn't got off to the best of starts. I think from their first 10 games, they've got 15 points, and they obviously lost yesterday as well to Sassuolo. Bayern Munich got absolutely battered. You know, Diarra is a very decent young player at Gladbach. But they got absolutely battered. Like Bayern Munich got sourced. You know, they're showing solidarity with Man United. But yeah, man, as you lot know, he's gone. And you look at the league table, Barcelona are 9th. You know, last 6 games, 3 defeats, 2 wins, and 1 draw. It's unacceptable, really. And look at the teams they're being lapped by. Maybe Bellerin made the right choice, not going back to Barcelona and signing for Betis. Sevilla are running away with it. You know, Real Madrid are doing their thing and trying to rebuild. Atletico, it's not the best of seasons from them, but it could be worse. It's peak for you, man. You know, it's peak. And, you know, we've seen a lot of embarrassing performances. You know, again, I don't think they had the best of performances in the El Clasico. They crumbled against Atletico. You know, they looked shaky against Dynamo Kiev. Benfica sourced them. Bayern Munich blitzed them. The embarrassment of a coach right now. So it was always going to happen, people, really and truly. You know, apparently Koeman's had 3 El Clasico defeats in a row, people. Mad thing. So yeah, man, you needed to go. Once you lose the players, which I think you have done, you're gone in it. So you've got next to no chance where that's concerned. So yeah, man, he's been clipped. So see you later, big man. That's where you're concerned. See you later. That's where you're concerned. So yeah, that's Ronald Koeman, people. That's where Ronald Koeman's concerned. People, please make sure you're hitting those like buttons. You're doing all of those good things. Oh, well, I mean, I go on YouTube and hit the like button. Make sure you're following. Love to the Twitch gang. Again, we're still getting used to this stuff. In relation to more content, after this, I'm going live on YouTube again. So yeah, make sure you're there. Have you seen the tiki-taka the El Sad team have been playing under Xavi? I'm not going to sit here and say I'm watching football. I'm not watching the Qatar football, so I know nothing about Xavi. But they should be playing tiki-taka, and I'm sure if he can implement that elsewhere, it would be a thing. Xavi would be their best option, in my opinion. Bey Guzman is trash. That's harsh. That Bayern game was brazy. They must not have had their steroids before they get. Oh, you're killing me with these sort of comments, man. Them peds and that. Good morning, DJ. It's 5:20 a.m. in Trinidad and Tobago. One love to the Trinibads out there, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's support wherever you are. You know, again, technical difficulties can't stop us. We seem to have recovered. Let me not count my chickens before they hatch, because I'm not really on it. But what else have we got progressing through what I have to speak about here? And obviously, like I said, open up another tab, head over to YouTube. So yeah, away from that though, man, you know, the title of this video is a bit mad. You know, yesterday you did see emerging reports that a PSG player, yeah, but Cazorla, I see the highlights every now and again regarding Cazorla and doing a madness over them sides there. But I'm sure you all saw the headlines in relation to a PSG player was robbed by a prostitute. Apparently they ran up in the car and did the thing. Now, for me, again, you know, Herrera's adopted home is Paris, and he's entitled to feel as home. The first thing I thought is, if this prostitute did run up to you at traffic light and got in your car and stole your wallet and your phone, I have a couple of just talking points. First being, in a foreign country or a country where you don't necessarily speak the native tongue and you didn't grow up there, surely, regardless of if it how great it is or first world or whatever, you have your wits about you. So again, for me, the fact that the car doors are not locked is the first alarm bell. And actually, I'd say all over the world, definitely here in the UK, these car, I don't want to say it's gone away, but these car robbery things, like robbing people's cars, robbing people out of the cars, going in the cars, they seem to be making a return. I don't know if Paris is of the same ilk. So that's the first thing. The other thing, like someone said, 9 times out of 10, these cars, and someone like Ander Herrera with the money he's on, these cars auto lock after a certain point of time. So the first things first is, what was you doing over there, Ander Herrera? You know, is it the first time you went over them sides there? You know, was it a rogue prostitute that, you know, her business and your business, the transaction went wrong? Is this the first? You know, it does sound a bit fishy. It's like you've been over there multiple times and somehow for some reason you've been robbed. And again, the very fact that you're paying for pussy probably says a lot there. But anyways, keeping it civil, for what it's worth, Ander Herrera reported to be PSG player robbed by a prostitute. Apparently reported this afternoon, which was yesterday. You know, apparently a news report reported this afternoon that the PSG player who was robbed of his phone and wallet by a prostitute last night is midfielder Ander Herrera. So his tracking back skills aren't quite as good off the field as they were on it. The Spaniard was driving through Bolos de Boulogne, a public forest in the west of the city, when he saw his personal items stolen. 20-minute source indicates that there was no violence involved in the incident, but instead a simple robbery. The suspect is said to have offered to give him his phone back in exchange for dropping her off in another location. In total, 200 euros were stolen from the midfielder, who reserves the right to lodge a complaint. L'Equipe has added that Herrera has today lodged a formal complaint to the authorities following the incidents. The former Manchester United man was in training today with his club, who have declined the comment. Bit fishy, bit blurred, you know. The story seems a bit blank there, really and truly. Driving through a forest, what's happened? Somehow she's in your car robbing the phone, or it could be a he. I don't know. You know, if that's what you like. Again, social justice warriors, what people like to do in their spare time is down to them. So allow me in it, but I assume it was a woman. If it's a man, that's or you know, or something else, that's what he wants. But it's not making sense. Again, I'm not from France. I might be being a bit ignorant, but it just, a man, how do you go from driving through a forest? Doesn't say the time, but what, last night you're driving through a forest late at night. You know, obviously we've all seen the mad horror films. No one, maybe it's because I'm black as well, but no one's trying to stop and get out and do all of these things. Now, maybe, to be fair, he could have been driving through the forest, saw someone that looked young, looked vulnerable. You know, if it was a woman, looked vulnerable. Obviously, sad to say, but that's no place for a lady to be. No one, anyways, but for a lady to be. So maybe he's tried to help, and then she's finessed him in that to where being a good Samaritan has obviously got him there. But if that isn't the case, I don't know. It sounds a bit booky, and she a bit cheeky, innit? I mean, forget the snitching thing, but a bit cheeky, innit? She's like, you drop the thing, or I'm not giving it back. Bit of a madness, you know. It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad, you know. It's I don't really know, in it. It's just, you know, the group chat where PSG is concerned must be a madness. I'll say that much, man. Herrera was out there looking for some strange and got finessed, boy. He got set up. He's sounding a bit mad still. I can't lie. I don't know what happened to him, but he's gonna have to hold that one. The only good thing I could say is was 200 quid to him. If you was trying to pay for certain things, then you're a dud still. I can't lie. You don't need to be doing that, especially a footballer. Like, you know, what happened to chatting birds up and that? Or again, if it's him, maybe a man. Still, I don't know. But it is what it is where that's concerned, where Herrera's concerned. Away from all of that, what other headlines have we got to discuss as well, people? What else? That's Herrera. Let's close the Ronald Koeman one. It's the same article there. Sorry, folks. 39. Now, I can't lie, Lee Johnson has taken a dig at Arsenal and Spurs. Now, for what it's worth, disclaimer, I don't think he's necessarily wrong in what he said about, you know, Arsenal and Spurs. I want to get the bigger teams, but I find it a very cheeky and it's very privileged from the Sunderland gaffer. First things first, respectfully, Sunderland. You fucking Sunderland gaffer, and where are you? Like, you beat QPR, don't get excited. Again, people, I'm not one of these tribal guys, but You know, what are you talking about? You you manage Sunderland, bro. Like, you lot need to go and pattern off what you got with Newcastle before you come to us. And even Newcastle might chat to us a bit more. On top of that, Lee Johnson, you know, you beat Man United a couple of years ago. That's the only thing you've done of note, you know, really. I know you've probably got 1-2 accolades, but you are only a manager because of your dad. You are everything that's wrong with English football. You know, you got a job. You know, you was at Arsenal's youth academy. Maybe that's why you didn't get there. Maybe that was because of your dad and the old boys network. You went to Watford where your dad was a head coach as a youth player. Your dad got you half of these senior jobs. You are there because of who your dad's last name is. You know, you're a bit like Duncan Ferguson. You know, I mean, not man said Duncan Ferguson, Darren Ferguson. You've got no talent, really. You know, and for what it's worth, I do think you're a good manager. You have managed some good young players, but calm it down. Like, you know, who are you? Really and truly, like, you, bro, you see, you manage Sunderland, you know, like, you've been about for a hot minute. You look mess because you got a nice old beard, you wear a good old suit and all them things there, but you're a dud, man. Allow me, man. I'm trying to bring up your Wikipedia page, but it's not coming up. Like, what's all of this? Are you that much of a dud? Sunderland, yeah, man. Show me him. Where the fuck is the Wikipedia page? There it is. 40 years of age. To be fair, you're quite young, people. You know, as it says here, he began his career as a youth player with Arsenal, but left the club age 17 after a feud with the coach. He then went on to join Watford, whose youth system was run by his father. He did not make a senior appearance, so your daddy couldn't help you there, could he? You know, had a bit of a shit journeyman's career as a footballer. You know, eligible to play for Gibraltar, couldn't even do that. You know, furthest you got his English C team, which is all better than me. But I think relax yourself a bit. You know, got a job at 31 at Oldham for no reason, really and truly. You did keep them up, but it didn't end, it didn't end well. You know, it didn't end well at Oldham, didn't end well at Barnsley. You know, all of these fans have drawn you out. Probably best known for what you did at Bristol City, and you was all right there. But you did have a decent performance against City, you know, in the cup. But what have you done beyond that? You know, what have you done beyond that? At the time of his appointment as Oldham manager, you know, 3 members of his family were chief scouts at different clubs. So again, he's been able to exploit the old boys network. And you know, as a manager, fair play. You've won the EFL selfie with Sunderland last year. Apart from that, you've done fuck all. So you know, you've won a trophy and you're doing Johnny Big Bollocks. Relax yourself, man. Relax yourself. Don't. You could talk about Spurs and you're not wrong with what you said, but you know, shut your mouth, man. Allow me, man. One little win where against QPR and you're talking West. Absolute dickhead. And you know what? I want Sunderland. You know. Don't make us come back and take your youth footballers again and them things. We took Sam Greenwood and we sold him to Leeds. You lot probably could use him right now. There's levels, you know. He's not wrong for what he said. It's just he's got a face I don't like. I'll be real with you lot, people. And I just think I don't like him because I think you sum up the privilege of football, getting things where you don't really deserve it, getting into a world because of who your father is and things like that. So yeah, man, just keep it stum, my guy. Just keep it stum. He said, I'd love to have Arsenal away or Tottenham away or someone like that. Then we'll have to wait for the really big guns when it's 2 legs. I mean, stop counting your chickens for the hatch, bro. You manage Sunderland, for God's sake. Allow me, man. Just allow me with that stuff, man. You're a dud. But anyways, moving away from this idiot. And I hope we get you. I hope Eddie and Ketty knee slides in front of your backside, you know, and shows you pause and shows you all go on, car. You're on the next thing, man. Absolute duddery from these individuals. I'll be damned if I can take it from you. If I can take it from you, mate. Who are you? Who? What? Who? All right, to be fair, you're a football manager, but who are you, mate? Man's in League One talking smack. Them man there can get relegated, man. Bro, man's just won something. He's only there, but I can't respect someone that's in this thing because their dad's there. Like, I can't lie. You didn't have to come up hard. Just speaking from privilege and all of these sort of things, man, you pussy up. But anyways, moving away from that though, folks. And whatnot. Let's go. POGBA. It's out at lies. Norwich think they can stay up. There's a lot of delusion going on, people. I mean, you look at Norwich. Apparently, Stuart Webber backs Daniel Farke and hits back at Canaries critics. Lol. Apparently, Stuart Webber has thrown his support behind boss Daniel Farke and insists the Canaries can achieve Premier League survival, and hits back at critics who have questioned the club's ambition. I don't think anyone can question Norwich's ambition. I mean, you've sold players and whatnot. I think you like to be a yo-yo club. I think there's a lot of finances behind getting promoted. And the other day, the pardon me, the finances involved with Norwich for last season, which was their promotion back to the Prem, came up. So there's probably these things, and clearly they want to sell players on. I don't think I don't think Norwich have the ambition of doing what Leeds are aiming to do based off last season, what Leicester have done, what these clubs have, like even West Ham since being promoted back. So, you know, stability and pushing on. Webber said, of course, the situation here isn't down to one person. When we win, it's not down to one person. When we lose, it's not down to one person. I and the club are 100% behind him. We're in this situation. It's not he's in this situation or the players are in this situation. We all are. And we all have to do better because of what we're producing at the moment isn't good enough. We all have to step up and bite down on the gum shield and start swinging back. What we've produced so far hasn't been good enough. And only people who can change that is us. It's not down to us. It was a difficult day at the office at Chelsea, an embarrassing defeat for us, for everyone in every part of the club. It hurt a lot, and so it should be. We've got two options now. We can sulk about it or use that energy to bounce back and prove we can do a lot better and start winning games. You don't believe this. This is all fighting talk. It's all a myth, people. When you look at it, though, again, to be fair, this was probably always expected because, again, this was a season promoted, and you probably need a bit of stability when you get promoted to the Prem. You know, they spent 31.9 million on new signings and brought in 10 permanent signings. So there was always going to be stuff, bro. Trust me, all that, you know, all that battle speech is dead. Oh, wait, Joe, allow it, man. Every time they're losing, the camera pans to the Norwich chairman and owners and things. Allow it, man. You like, bro, it's duddery, man. He said, we're not accepting this yo-yo tag, or they've given up. I mean, the yo-yo tag sticks. I wouldn't agree you've accepted relegation or given up. He said, no at all. That's not good enough for this football club in Norwich, bro. And if anyone does think that, then they won't last very long at this football club. We've got to be better than that. 2 years ago, we got relegated and we understood the reasons why. I took full responsibility for that. Absolutely, that was on me. But second time around, it was about coming back stronger and better. And we won't accept that. None of us at this club, because we know we're good enough to stay and compete in this league. I hope so, but it's a myth, bro. You got 2 points. You're gone. There's nothing you can do. It sounds good. Sounds mighty duck talk. It sounds like, you know, it sounds like a school kid who, you know, is tired of being bullied, stands up to the bully, thinks that it's cushy now and it stopped, and the bully's gone, yeah, say nothing. That's where it is. So it sounds great, but it's practicality. We're the 11th highest spenders in Europe. I mean, that's the riches of the Premier League in that. And obviously with the COVID. By all means, criticize us for spending badly if that's what people think, but don't criticize us for not spending, because that's not the truth. People say we're not having a goal. That's completely unfair. I think that's harsh. I just think the way you're going about it is extremely naive. He said, if you look at what we've done at the club over the last few years around infrastructure, we've now got a training ground which would be anywhere around the top 10 in the Premier League in terms of its level. We've got a thriving academy which keeps producing young players. We've got 22,000 season ticket holders. I'm sure there's a lot of clubs who would like to swap places with us in terms of that. We've got a lot of talented players. We've got a strong squad, a squad that is so much deeper and stronger than it's ever been for this club. For people saying that they've got all their facts wrong, by all means, criticize us and say we've done things poorly, but don't say we haven't had a goal or we've not spent money, because that's lazy and people who haven't done their research. Part of me has enjoyed how much we've been written off, because it means we do come back. When we do come back, we can shove it up a few people. Pause. We need to prove people wrong. I know we can do it. I've never had more belief in the players and staff and the management of us to do as a whole club. But the only way we can do it is hard work, belief, and showing a bit of bottle, not hiding or making excuses or chucking people down under the bus. We need to take control and put our destiny in our own hands. I mean, it sounds great, but rubby, man, rubby. Anyways, people, moving away from that, as you know, Paul Pogba, who had a disaster class coming off the bench against Liverpool, has rubbish reports of Ollie's snub, and I'm sure you've all seen it on social media. You know, he's branded suggestions. He snubbed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after Manchester United's lost to Liverpool and has shelved contract talks as fake news, people, where apparently Mino Raiola said that. Apparently Pogba has called out big lies to make headlines. and he's drawn out the sun. First things first, people. As you know, at this moment in time, his contract is still running down, and you just need to listen to what Mino Raiola is being said. But you know, the times when speaking to Mino Raiola said you have to ask Manchester United about it. At this moment, everything is calm. There's no update, and of course, everything's going to be calm because Pogba controls all the variables. United stand to lose a player. You know, you could stay at United and get a good contract and be given proper assurances to a degree. You could go back to Juventus. You might be able to go Madrid. There's obviously PSG. There's all of these sort of things. And I would say everything's on the table, and it would be a bit calm because Ollie's gone. You know, Ollie's a dead man walking in that job. You know, he's just delaying the inevitable. Yeah, you know, you're just further kicking the can down the road. You beat Spurs, you might hang on a bit, but you know, I'd be amazed, regardless of what Manchester United said, Conte, Ten Hag or not, if contacts aren't being made with a few managers, sorry, if the management of their managers, the agents and stuff are not being dialed in and called and seeing what's going on, I'd be very surprised. So I don't know what that means as well, people. No clue. A bit serious though. Apparently, Italian football watchdog sends report to the FA on suspicious transfer activity, and I haven't got it to hand, but there was actually talk of there's a bit of booky stuff around Osimhen's deal as well, and the amount of fingers in pies that saw him go from Lille to Napoli. But apparently, the Italian football watchdog has passed on a report to the Italian FA regarding suspicious transfer activity in the last 2 years. The report highlights 62 transfers between 2019 and 2021, with close attention paid to player exchanges and recorded profits. So maybe Juventus with that Arthur thing was going on. But apparently they've invited the Italian FA in brackets FIGC's prosecutor Giuseppe Cine to investigate the transfers it has flagged. Figures from the transfer deals have attracted scrutiny in Italian and global press, but the recording of capital gains from player swaps is a legitimate accounting practice. Apparently, the one Italian outlet, meanwhile, La Repubblica, meanwhile, claims to have seen the report. It describes the finding as generic and critical of the processes of documenting larger profits from player exchanges when little or no money has actually moved between the clubs. So yeah, we'll see what's going on there, people. So yeah, it's gone. So that's that. As you don't know, Lucas Hernandez has had his prison sentence suspended after a successful appeal. West Ham have been given permission to extend their London stadium to 62,500. Kepa said he's ready to take over from Mendy when it's AFCON time, which is a brazy one. In fact, let me see what else is on the Athletic, people. Let me just don't want to miss any headlines for you guys. One love to you lot. Please make sure you're following and subscribing. Also, make sure you're supporting the TIG over on YouTube as well. As usual, people. Apparently Newcastle United are part of a working group that's been set up by the Premier League. The Athletic understands the formation of the group comes off the back of an incredible emergency Premier League meeting held on Monday, October the 18th. In the meeting, Lee Carley, Newcastle's managing director, threatened legal action against the Premier League and the executives in attendance if the vote was passed to block Newcastle from making lucrative sponsorship deals. Obviously, that statement led to 18 clubs voting in favour of introducing a temporary amendment that bans new commercial opportunities involving pre-existing business relationships going through. Newcastle voted against the amendment, while Manchester City, as we know, were the only club not involved. The working group, which has met once and has another planned meeting, will be populated by representatives from clubs who put themselves forward to create long-lasting measures. It's understood the group will not have a representative of every club, but Newcastle will be included. The group will consist of a spokesman from a mixture of clubs, including chief executives, lawyers, accountants, and commercial directors. The expectation is that the working group will report back recommendations to all Premier League clubs at the next shareholders meeting on November the 11th, in which they will discuss a potential solution they have come up with. And how this could impact clubs potentially. There are relatively few clubs in the Premier League who rely on major related party contracts, which is why Newcastle's confrontational letter claimed that rules forbidding or restricting deals of that nature would be discriminatory. Newcastle feel that new regulations are specifically targeting a very few group of clubs and owners, and it's true. Newcastle, Man City, have also been accused of earning heavily from related party deals in the past. And apparently, it's not that City will be massively affected immediately. They just don't like the direction of travel. Apparently, it was a warning, as a well-placed executive puts it, that Newcastle owners can't just waltz in and do what City did. And that's all it comes down to. They don't want to. The clubs fear competition. They want to keep the cartel. The view of the 18 Premier League clubs is that almost all of their commercial revenue is generated through conventional means. Lull, you're all thieves and calling the other ones liars. They argue that a system whereby the owner can use related parties to secure vastly inflated and unrealistic income is unfair and in need of reform. So it's more cop blocking of Newcastle and Newcastle getting things done. Brentford's David Raya has been ruled out up to 5 months with a knee injury, people. I mentioned, speaking of goalies, I mentioned KEPA, who seems to come alive in penalty shootouts. He said he's ready to step up in the absence of Mendy, obviously when he goes to represent Senegal at next year's AFCON. Scrolling all the way down, he said, well, of course, it is 2 months away, the AFCON. We know it can happen, Mendy leaving, and I'll be ready, but we have a lot of games until we start thinking about that. Let's go step by step. We'll see what happens. If he goes to the African Cup, man couldn't even be bothered to say African Cup of Nations. All the best, and I'll be ready, but it's still a long way to arrive at that point. Fair play. And at 28 years of age, Chelsea have to force it. You know, they spent 80-odd million on him and gave him like a 6-year contract, you know. Serious victims of fraud where that one there is concerned, people. You know, so that's interesting. Apparently, as I said, in terms of investigating transfers, as I mentioned, Osimhen's 80 million euro move from Lille to Napoli is at the front and center. Allegedly, the deal was one of the most scandalous put together in the history of French football. Apparently, fourth division players were offered in part exchange, valued in the millions. 10 million euros of agent commissions. Lille receiving roughly just 25% of the actual money flow. Boy, so it's all mad really in there. It's all crazy there, you know. It's that is sounding very, very, very harsh. Transfer fraud. Wants Mendy spot. What else have we seen? Hazard, CARLO. Tells Hazard to improve. I can't lie, Hazard's been dealt a cruel blow in relation to getting his Real Madrid career popping and going. You know, apparently Hazard is fit. I just prefer other players, says Carlo Ancelotti. Which, boy, what can you say? You know, if you know, it's not quite the Eden Hazard. Apparently, he's also said Eden Hazard's position is pretty clear. He can play 4-3-3 as a left winger. Apparently, the star was left on the bench for Barcelona, against Barcelona, sorry, for these very reasons. He was an unused substitute. He has started just 4 of the 7 La Liga matches and played just once of their 3 Champions League games, people. Carlo said he can play 4-3-3 on the left or 4-4-2 above or behind the striker. He's ready to play, but the problem is that there is a coach who prefers another player. He does not have a star status at Madrid because he has had many injuries, and little by little, he'll have his best version. I am sure this season we will see his best version and he'll play more than he is doing now. Hazard has it, everything, quality, motivation. He has to endure what happens is that sometimes the coach prefers other players. At the end of the day, Carlo needs to win games. He can't just make it the Hazard show. Hazard has only played 51 times in 2 years for Real Madrid. Not quite, you know, the projected thing when he signed in 2019, people. It's quite crazy. And in August, allegedly, they wanted to sell him, really. And it's quite sad because this is the man's dream. He's always dreamed of playing for Real Madrid. And I won't say it's a nightmare because at the end of the day, you're a professional footballer, but it is one. Speaking of La Liga and Real Madrid, apparently La Liga have received an official complaint about the racist insults Vinicius Jr. suffered at the Camp Nou and El Clasico. Grass is green in that regards. People result into, you know, racial insults, and that's something that's ingrained within European society, folks. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, hooliganism's been a problem in France. Apparently, league authorities open investigation into Marseille PSG crowd trouble, and they need to investigate probably into a lot of things, really, if you're completely 100% honest. Moving away from all of that stuff, people, let's put a timestamp in because that was all the general tosh I had to speak about. Well, United will get 6 points from their next 3 games. You heard it here first. Herrera's wilding. They may need a Buendia replacement to even come back up. Boy, they need a lot more, man. They just need to be less naive. I think on the pitch, Norwich are extremely naive, whether it's their young players or their experienced ones. Remember when pundits were saying Timo Pukki was the best free transfer of the season last time they were up? Trust me, the tosh that comes out is ridiculous. Hazard at Madrid never lived up to the hype. These blasted ads, Jason, man, it's a thing, man. Subscribe and there's no ads, man. It supports the channel, man. I know it's frustrating. But hold it up, everyone. Hold it up, man. It is what it is, man. So, yeah, man, where that's concerned. To wrap up this, this live stream, let's get into transfer business. You know me, I like to humor myself and look at the transfer stuff. So yeah, where the transfers are concerned, what are we? Call that 59. So yeah, people. I mean, what rumors are we gonna see today in the transfer column? Let's start with the BBC. Liverpool have joined Manchester United in the battle to sign Leeds United and England midfielder Calvin Phillips for 60 million. Woof. 60 mil, oof, a bit pricey, as much as I think Calvin Phillips is a good player. Manchester United are prepared for France midfielder Paul Pogba to leave when his contract ends next summer, and believe this is more beneficial keeping the 28-year-old until the end of the season, then selling him in January. Probably, he makes us stronger when he plays to the potential Paul Pogba plays, and then he does his thing, people. And let me go on that ESPN article. Allegedly, Man United prepared for Paul Pogba to leave on free next summer. And I mean, it doesn't seem things could happen, but it doesn't seem like there's significant progress where the contract is concerned. So they have to be prepared for him. And I mean, it wasn't the way we all saw it when he joined in 2016 for £89.1 million. Apparently he's consistently rejected United's offer. So yeah, man, it's a bit crazy. And to me, what makes it probably complicated is that Cristiano Ronaldo is signed. Obviously Pogba isn't Cristiano Ronaldo, but if Cristiano Ronaldo's on 500, Pogba's gonna want something handsome as well. And then any other potential players, this summer they signed they brought back Ronaldo, and they obviously brought Varane. What happens if they go for similar caliber players? This is the thing with messing up the wage structure. The same thing as to why there's every reason, and probably you need to give Salah a new deal where Liverpool are concerned. But there's that backdrop. Haaland, when Chelsea were looking at him, if they were ever close to grabbing him. As you know, Real Madrid, Juventus, and PSG have previously expressed an interest in Pogba, but none of them are planning to make a move in January, preferring instead to negotiate a free agent deal next summer. Sources have told ESPN that United factored in the likelihood of Pogba leaving as a free agent at the end of his contract when they agreed his transfer fee and wages 5 years ago. And to be fair, they might say he's given enough. And as Wenger said, this was always going to happen, really and truly. And I'm sure they still probably retain faith of tempting him to sign a new deal, but you have to probably admit that it looks like it could be over. Apparently, PSG have joined the race to sign Leeds winger Rafinha after receiving glowing references from his teammate Neymar. Liverpool are one of the clubs expressing an interest in signing Jude Bellingham. Barcelona, as you know, have offered Xavi the job. Mark Overmars will leave Ajax to become the new Newcastle director of football in January or February. Manchester United would be forced to pay manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 7.5 severance package if they sack him now, which again, probably the best 7.5 million they can spend. Apparently, Ronaldo has attempted to rally the Manchester United dressing room and encourage teammates to support Oli, who's technically a former teammate of his, which, again, maybe is good propaganda, because I would have thought Ronaldo's probably the manager now anyway, so he probably wants him gone. Newcastle had a scout watching Bayern Leverkusen's Florian Wirtz. Obviously, as he played against Cologne, maybe they're looking at him. Borussia Dortmund are in contact with Chelsea over the future of Timo Werner, Pulisic, and Hudson-Odoi, so they just want to buy anything. Chelsea are looking at making moves for centre-backs, Jules Okonde and Matisse de Ligt, obviously with the contracts of Christensen and Rudiger up for debate. Liverpool plan to use a signing-on fee to help Mo Salah become their highest earner, but reports the Egyptian forward is asking for 500k per week in the contract is inaccurate. Apparently, Michael Edwards is planning to leave his role as Liverpool sporting director at the end of the season and does not have a new job lined up. If I'm new, he probably wants a break, but if I'm Newcastle, I'm trying to get him. If I'm Arsenal, I'm trying to get him. Apparently, he's the one that said, let's go and get Salah when they did. Worked out well, didn't it? Other things are going down in terms of that. So that's BBC. Going away from that and looking at a couple of others. Apparently, Real Madrid, not Real Madrid, Man United made an offer for Haaland, but Rinola knew he was better off at Dortmund. Dortmund CEO has spoken about Haaland, and he said the offer from Manchester United was better. However, Mino Rinola realized that Erling was better off with us. Boy, damning statistic. And I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer couldn't even do that. We'll circle back on it, but Arsenal have been linked with a free transfer of signing Zakaria. Bayern Munich are planning a move for Osimhen. Obviously, they're going to need to replace Lewandowski soon, and he's in blistering form where Napoli is concerned, folks. So it's Brazy there. I mean, we already heard about Liverpool looking at Phillips and Bellingham. So again, that might tell you they're looking at a midfielder. Ahmed Diallo, Manchester United is still interested in going out on loan to Feyenoord. So yeah, he's just been wasting time, really. I know he's been injured, but yeah. As you know, PSG are in the race for Rafinha. Koeman was sacked. What other things are going down? I think that's that in relation to transfer news, people. I really think that's that. Bit of a slow day where transfers are concerned. Transfer news. Obviously, big up to everybody watching this on the rerun on YouTube and things. One love to the Twitch gang watching it at the moment. What else are you lot saying? Do you think Sancho is better than Little Chilly? On his day, yeah, but no, not at this moment. Who do you think Arsenal should avoid in the quarters? I mean, it's whatever in it, you know. You're playing in the cup action. Not with respectfully, you want the easiest side, but you can't avoid no one. So if we've got to get you know, Chelsea, Spurs, anyone, just bring him on, really and truly. Brentford, you know, Leicester, you got to play them anyways, innit? Then Bilbao man should be investigated for armed robbery on that Kepa transfer. Bro, finessed. Thoughts on the 5 subs being permanent? Well, yeah, again, that's a good one. Almost forgot about that. I would be for it. You know, I think obviously squads would probably get bigger because more players are going to be used. I'm sure managers, I won't say keep players happy, but you can keep people happy. There's probably going to be more sort of, you know, again, I think there was a lot of opposition behind it in general when it was first came, COVID or not. And I think people are cool with it. So I wouldn't mind it. But apparently it's at the league's discretion. So Premier League could say, nah, fuck that. Champions League could say, let's run that. Europa League could say, let's run that. French football could say, and let's do it. Germany could say, let's do it. England could say it's not. So it is what it is. And I think, you know, 5 subs, not heading the ball, 11 players trying to score goals. You know, I do think we're going to get into this territory. All the teams in the Premier League, everyone can get relegated. Everyone can win it. A team will get promoted from the championship, win the championship title, and then win the Prem. It's getting a bit NBA-ish. We're getting into I'm just throwing in the 5 subs rule with it, but we're getting into some different sort of times in football, in my opinion. So yeah, it is what it is in that regard, man. That's an interesting one. Let me see if I've missed out any other comments. Bro, French FA seem to be whatless. Man said 80 million for a hologram. Mad thing. Some United man was making a youngster tier list and put Elliot and Callum Hudson-Odoi above Saka and Smith Rowe already. I know I unfollowed, but you know what? Everyone's allowed their opinion, man. I want Sunderland. Fuck it, Sunderland. I want Sunderland, man. Lee Johnson. I can't lie, he's booky. You know, he's had good. I remember, swear he beat Man United, and he definitely played well against City before City done their job. But yeah, man, I want to absolutely pump them, smack them in because don't talk on. Well, with respect to Sunderland, I'm very respectful. I like Sunderland as a club, but Lee Johnson's making me draw you lot out, bro. Manage your Sunderland thing. Manage your Sunderland thing. Make sure you lot have digestive biscuits in the biscuit thing. Cause our thing is different. You lot are duds. You lot need listen. You lot need to focus on Newcastle. If you can't, that's why you're probably drawing us out, man. Because you can't talk to Newcastle anymore. You can't. Lee fucking Johnson, the privileged paupers. That is him. You're going mad. Leave my club, and I don't react to these things, but leave my damn club alone, man. What did we do to you? Shout out to everyone who's followed. Shout out to everyone who's subscribing and them things there. To be fair, I haven't even finished Sunderland until I die. Well, it's on Netflix, but some things that are on Amazon, I can't lie. I sold you lot dreams. I said that we're gonna do these watch along. When I say watch alongs, like if you're on, what's it called? What would it be called? Like if we're watching a show together, I've been saying we're gonna do these things. We need to, man. Last thing as well, allegedly, people, Premier League clubs and national governing bodies invited to complete race representation in index survey. Oh, fuck that, man. More tick box exercise. You know there's a lack of diversity. You know when you look at the accountants of these clubs, when you look at directors, it's not diverse. So I don't know for any of that, people. And I can't lie, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne still needs to find his highest level. I did think I didn't say it, but I think he struggled against West Ham. Really, he looked laboured, he looked lethargic and stuff at moments, much like the whole team, if I'm completely honest. But you know, they did the job, they got over the line, and all of those sort of things, people. So I can't say much, but yeah, man. Yeah, Ollie or Nuno, who's getting sacked first? Woof. I feel Ollie, because it don't seem like Nuno's under that. There's a knife edge sort of thing with him. You know, it feels like Ollie. It just seems like everyone's biding their time. Players know you're gone. Higher powers at Man United know you're off. You know, I was having my breakfast, people, and I normally have a chocolate when I have a banana, pause for energy levels, and it's melted. But anyways, everybody knows you're off in it. You're a dead man walking. You can delay the inevitable. Obviously, a mad uptake in form. You got on a surging run. It gets the Wolves away from you, but still, man, I would say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Really. Do you remember when it was a sack race between Ollie, Lampard, and Arteta? Look how he survived. Arteta survived that one. Serious survivor. But yeah, on that note, people, you know, we've been here for an hour or so. I apologize for the technical difficulties on Twitch's end or StreamYard's ends. One of you better snitch on each other, because it's not me. Need to get prepared for the 11:30 live stream, or we're just going to be late, people. So yeah, as I said, make sure you're all here. We're going to be talking Stan Kroenke, free transfer for Zachariah. Allegedly, Eddie Nketiah has been offered a new deal. So yeah, hit up that one, people. Like it said, for extra live streams and videos, subscribe to me on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed and following on Twitch. You're checking your schedules, and you're also setting your reminders. After the 11:30 one on YouTube, I'm going to be going and playing at 3 p.m. We're going to be playing Football Manager, folks. So yeah, man. Don't know if Arteta surviving this long is a good thing, bro. Time will tell. Ollie probs will. Ollie's got 3 games, as a matter of fact. To be fair, I think they beat Spurs, but the way they are, Spurs could smack them up 3-4-0, and he might get the clip at half time, really. And when your job's on it like a knife edge like that, who knows? There will probably be some players, not that want to get you the sack, but are not necessarily going to try. The people that you've tried to do dirty, you're going to see a lack of effort. People that might believe in you, they just really want something new. When you lose the players, you know, and probably the coaching staff, and clearly 1 or 2 figureheads in the boardroom, you're on borrowed time. Arteta, I would say Arteta's on borrowed time, but I wouldn't. You know, I don't think Arteta is as far along as getting sacked as maybe a Ollie, purely because, you know, Arteta was afforded the luxury of, at the start of the season, he hasn't got his full squad, right? When you look at now the fact that everybody's been fit, how many times has this squad or the strongest team played? Probably about 5 or 6 times. So that, you know, they're gonna say, well, he's only had 5 or 6 games. Of course, you know, when you play like how we did against Brighton and more so Palace, I don't see how the season can go on like that. But Arsenal are never trigger happy, never in the rush. It takes a real big thing. So they might say, okay, cool, we're letting them last. They're learning their lessons and things, and learning on the job and things. So I think Arteta's got the best job in the Premier League. There's no genuine. I don't want to say there's not pressure internally. I don't think there is pressure, and everything's great at this moment in time. And we're going to be speaking about it at 11:30. Everything's great, unbeaten and stuff. And I'm not trying to sound like the bearer of bad news or doom and gloom, but it does feel like, I don't know. It just feels like the winter is coming. It feels like there's a war coming. It feels like, yeah, we're winning games. Might not be perfect, but we're unbeaten. We're winning games. We're doing our thing. But we've got a very tough run of fixtures, a very quick run of fixtures, starting with Jamie Vardy and Brendan Rodgers and Telemans and all them, and they're 12:30 on Saturday. There is going to be injuries. As you know, there's allegedly a bug going around the club. You know, Ben White, credit to him, he was able to play, but couldn't see out the game. Marie couldn't play. There's bugs, there's injuries, you know, there's fatigue, and there's there's the fixture pile up. You know, I don't think players are playing amazing, you know, week to week. One guy, the same guy that people call amazing, they call him trash. I think Arsenal fans lack balance in that regards, but the jury's still out. But unless something really mad happens, I can't see Arteta getting the clip, which is why I think it's a bit mad, really. Won't get sacked like Ollie / Lampard / potentially Nuno. Call that another timestamp. I hate that unbeaten rhetoric. Only the Invincibles get that luxury. For me, it doesn't mean much without context. Now, for me, if I see you've gone 5, 6 or whatever games in the league or all comps unbeaten, it's clearly something, you know. It's very difficult to stay to go game to game and not losing the Prem, such as the luxury. It tells me there's a platform to build upon. It tells me you're doing something positive. It tells me there's some positives, but beyond that, that's where it stops. Like you said, you know, it kind of puts us on a level that we're not. It's the same lazy logic that saw people saying we're the best team of 2021. You know, we're third for clean sheets, which I can't argue with facts. These are facts. These are literally facts, but they're facts without context. They're facts that can be manipulated. And when there's no context and you're looking at the backdrop, you're burying your head in the sand. The same head in the sand burying that saw people when it was looking shaky under Emre crying, you know, still saying, oh, well, I'm beaten with this, with that. People don't like to be honest with themselves as much as they claim they want the club to be and all of these things, man. I don't trust him to get results in away games against lower teams on a consistent basis. I've said I think we're going to see the same things this season, just like that. That's what's going to happen. I have a feeling Arteta will stay for another 2-3 years, I reckon. I mean, if he proves it, I want stability. You know, sometimes I see things in Arteta, I'm like, you're the guy. Then I see things, I'm like, you're shaky. I mean, who doesn't want their gaffer to get it right? I would love him to get it right. But what I want, I've said the glove should be off. If Arteta is looking real shaky, you know, again, I don't think it's quite pitchfork time like Oli, but if it gets to that, nip it in the bud ASAP. You know, there's no need to be romantic around people now. There's this romance at Arsenal that's unnecessary. You know, let's be a bit ruthless with context and do the right things. You know, a serious club, I'm not saying Arteta should be sacked, but a serious club is looking at potential targets and saying, yo, if this guy moves shaky, is what it is. I did think it was a bit unfair that after 2 draws against Palace and Brighton that are informed, there was all the sack talk and the pitchforks came out. But yeah, me personally, I think we're still in the same territory with Arteta. Good, bad, the ugly of Arsenal. The same things I know about Arteta last year, the same things I see this year. Nothing's really changed within that regards. If I'm completely honest, people, like that's what it is. I don't want him to be part of the sack race, because if we're talking about sacking our gaffer, that means our season's gone down the piss already. And it did look like that at the start. There's still mathematically a lot to play for. There's still things that can be achieved. So I don't really want to do all of that. But what I don't want to see is carrying players. I don't want to see, if anyone's out of form, obviously I'm just speaking lazily now, but if people are out of form, drop them. Play players who give other people a chance, or play people that are winning games. If Arteta's not looking like the guy, sack him, because it seems a bit too nice, if I'm honest with you. We need a degree of ruthlessness, you know. We need to be nice to ourselves. Arsenal Football Club has not been nice to itself. It's not mentioned among elites. It's not mentioned among serious business again. And until that happens, we need to be ruthless. Will we? I don't know, but yeah, on that note, I'm gonna keep it moving, people, because again, I need to set up for YouTube. So yeah, on that note, make sure you're following on Twitch. I'll see you lot at 3 p.m. Make sure you head over there to YouTube. Appreciate everybody that's been locked in, that's listened, that's talking points, that's persisted with the ads, you know, that still remained when the for some reason Twitch just went blank. I appreciate all that support. So yeah, man, like you see there, next live stream 11:30 UK time. I'll see you lot in a piece, people. I'm out.
So it's always just that active red light, defending.
I think it's like